Just a reminder from your friendly neighborhood metalhead, if you like what you see, don't forget to click like and subscribe to the Heavy Underground. Taking in the view from a skybox seat at Mr. Small's Theater, the crowd begins to fill in for the night's show. A well-attended audience for Corrosion of Conformity's February 21st, 2019 concert takes their place for a night of heavy groove and rollicking Southern fried heaviness, joined by Dallas-based stoners Mothership, New Orleans' Miscreant Sons Crowbar, and the Doom Prophet himself, Wino, and his long-tenured, highly influential band The Obsessed. North Carolina's Corrosion of Conformity have reunited with singer and guitarist Pepper Keenan for a new album and tour. Released last year, No Cross, No Crown finds the band returning to their most prominent era with Pepper at the helm. After several years operating as a power trio, founding members Mike Dean and Woody Weatherman are joined by the returning Brother Keenan and newcomer Merritt Partridge on drums. Unfortunately, health issues have necessitated founding drummer Reed Mullins' periodic absence from the band in recent years, but Merritt is an ably adept fill-in for the substantial drum throne of Brother Mullen. Up first, Mothership from Dallas, Texas, lay down their bottom-heavy boogie with no hesitation. Formed in 2010, Mothership have honed their attack through incessant touring over the past 9 years, and their 3 full-length releases show a growing prowess for the band's hard-rocking stoner stomp. Led by brothers Kyle and Kells Jewett on bass and guitar respectively, and Judge Smith on drums, the brother Jewett also trade off in a vocal scramble for this robust power trio. With a crushing 4-song set establishing the standard for the evening's festivities, a gritty swagger permeates the band's performance as Mothership drop a 25-minute session of rollicking stoner groove. Drawing from all 3 albums of churning metal molasses, Mothership's aggressive stoner stomp plays to a growing and receptive audience. As Lunar Master slides from the stage with devious intent to start the show, the next song, Hot Smoke and Heavy Blues, gets caught in a quicksand embrace. Searing solos from Brother Kells cut to the quick throughout the band's set, and crashing drums from Judge Smith only bolster the bounding bass of Brother Kyle thundering underneath it all. Around the halfway point of their set, Crown of Lies roils in reverse, belying the hidden malevolence that underlies the song. Angel of Death, no, not that Angel of Death, ends the set with irascible fury as Mothership deliver a red-hot performance teeming with simmering energy and a stone-cold malevolent groove. Next, the living Doom legend himself, Scott Wino Weinrich, returns to the Berg with his longtime band The Obsessed. Deploying a set of classic Doom greatness, Wino is joined by Reed Rayleigh on bass and Brian Constantino on drums. Marking one of the most consistent lineups for The Obsessed, this potent power trio has shared the stage together since 2016. Celebrating 25 years since the release of The Church Within, The Obsessed offers the audience a set heavy on this classic 1994 album, with only 2016's Sacred and The Way She Fly from the band's self-titled 1990 full-length representing the band's broader catalog. A deliberate and methodical slow-motion action begins the show with 1994's Climate of Despair leading the pack. Morning continues the band's doom charge with cavernous bass from Reed Rayleigh powering underneath. Wino twists a myriad of psychedelic affronts from his guitar on Skybone, while Streetside churns with elemental force and To Protect and to Serve calls power and authority to account. Next, A World Apart rages incandescent for a brief moment before the epic close of Neat's Brigade ends the obsessed all-too-short set with alchemical brilliance. An illuminating set from one of the greatest musical forces of the last 4 decades, the music of Scott Wino Weinrich never ceases to amaze. Harnessing the power of his long-running brainchild, The Obsessed, Wino enlightens the audience with a deft conflagration of philosophical musings while crushing the audience beneath a fluid musical wave of melodic distortion and graceful doom. Wielding a weighted doom cudgel, Crowbar crushes the audience under waves of Leviathan heft and subterranean melody. Led by the inimitable Kirk Winstein, Crowbar has spent nearly 30 years submerging the world under waves of glacial riffs and overwhelming atmospheric heaviness. With Tommy Buckley on drums since 2005, Matthew Brunson handling second guitar duties since 2009, and touring bassist Shane Wesley, Brother Winstein's current iteration of Crowbar prepares to unleash a brutal battery of gloom and doom on the teeming Pittsburgh crowd. Thick and weighted riffs spill forth as Crowbar open their set with All I Had I Gave. This sludge classic soon gives way to And Suffer as One, as Brother Winstein leads his New Orleans Heshers on a slow-moving, soul-crushing journey. Next, To Build a Mountain distracts the audience with some melancholy double guitar interplay before fading into a feedback-laced close. Emerging from the closing noise, the Cemetery Angels rages from the stage next. Weathering a blistering opening screed, the Cemetery Angels soon descends into a crushing, glacially paced gravity well to bring the song to a bruising end. Walk with Knowledge Wisely follows with muted melodic tendencies being overwhelmed by the song's hefty weight. Culled from Crowbar's Odd Fellows Rest album, To Carry the Load offers a musical rumination that crawls with labyrinthine riffs and suppressive atmosphere. Nearing the end of their set, Planets Collide congeals with a punishing low-gear slog and Kirk's gravelly roar taking its place at the front of the band's burly attack. Closing their show with 1996's Like Broken Glass, twisting riffs seem to move in reverse as this unhurried sludge destructor chokes the air and any lingering feelings of hope from the room. A domineering 45-minute set from these New Orleans doomed sludge masters crushes the audience under waves of desolate guitar, thundering drums, and Brother Winstein's gruff vocal intonations. Emotional resonance and brutal gravitational heft mark this outstanding set from the legendary Crowbar. With a long and winding history reaching back to the band's ascent to regional hardcore hegemony in 1982, Corrosion of Conformity's Woody Weatherman, Mike Dean, and Reed Mullen have spent over 3.5 decades advancing the band's unique and iconic presence. From the band's early hardcore rage through their late 80s sharpened crossover attack, Mike and Woody, along with the noticeably absent Reed Mullen, have carved a uniquely independent path with the band's shifting palette and focus. The addition of the murky southern fried lens of Pepper Keenan in 1989 added a tuneful swagger to the band's heady and ever-expanding home brew. Alternating between 3- and 4-piece configurations in recent years has allowed Woody, Mike, and sometimes Reed to indulge more rambunctious and borderline psychedelic tendencies, while also having the option of opening the band up for a rip-roaring, pepper-powered rock throwdown, equal with the best of them. Heralded albums from both sides of the corrosive coin and clamoring hordes of adherents in attendance for tours featuring both iterations of these iconic nonconformists have found recent years only solidifying the respect and admiration for North Carolina's favorite bastard sons. Returning to the Pittsburgh area for a cantankerous good time on February 21st, Corrosion of Conformity opened the show with an impactful punch. 2005 Stonebreaker bounds from the stage first with near jubilant execution. A high-energy delivery highlights this song before turning up the band's turbid southern charm with Wise Blood. The quick turnaround into this 1996 track keeps the momentum at an excitable pace as the veteran band dominates the stage from the start. Having recently rejoined the band, Pepper Keenan's outstanding 2018 return album No Cross, No Crown is represented tonight with only a single song, Wolf Named Crow. Adopting a few mind-bending tricks from their journeys as a power trio, Wolf Named Crow offers a more expansive take on their patented Southern-style Sabbathian machinations. Keeping with the night's more nostalgic inclinations, the band returns to their Wise Blood release with the graceful crunch of Born Again for the Last Time. A noisy excursion finds a home in this elegant number before a revitalized rundown ends the song. Mike Dean's bass rises to the surface over and over again throughout the night, pushing in and out of and around the edges with carefree zeal. Turning to Woody Weatherman for the next song selection, the band proceeds to crash through the obstinate rocker, The Door. Woody Weatherman's exceptional prowess with the guitar is on full display tonight, and a narrative solo highlights this galloping classic from 1996. Following The Door, Merritt Partridge's powerful percussion pushes and pulls the music forward with methodical flair as a sinister elasticity underpins Diablo Boulevard. A fetid funk suffuses Diablo Boulevard as it slowly twists through the audience. With an opening drum flurry, It Is That Way garners a loud response from the crowd when the song's signature refrain rises from the crushing gravitational pull. A spasmodic solo from Brother Weatherman winds in and out before the song descends into a lower and slower gear to bring It Is That Way to a hefty close. Marking the beginning of Brother Keenan's recorded hit tenure with the band, 1991's absolutely essential release Blind offers up the incendiary Vote with a Bullet to an eager audience. This reunion with Pepper Keenan puts a focus on his early days with the band on this raging classic. With perpetual relevance, Vote with a Bullet careens through the speakers as a gnash of guitar and vocal venom drive the song home. The more ruminative 7 Days follows. Drawn from '94's Deliverance album, 7 Days bears the eloquent traces of Woody Weatherman's guitar throughout. One solo reaches from the deep with the musical mire, before 7 Days' foot-stomping close draws out one more expressive solo from Woody's experienced hands. Ratcheting up the intensity, a blitzkrieg run-through of Paranoid Opioid follows the pensive 7 Days. A backwater swirl crushes the crowd's senses for a moment before tearing open into a roaring blaze as Paranoid Opioid assaults with a final blister. Slowly phasing guitars weave into the night as 13 Angels gets underway. Brother Dean's omnipotent bass controls the song as COC levels the assembled crowd with a tectonic-level crush on 13 Angels. Pepper's viscous vocal delivery rises near the song's end to conduct this 2005 doom-infused gem to a crushing close. Up next, a song about getting high. 1994's Albatross lurches forth. Played at a slowed pace, a languid albatross bulldozes through the speakers with added weight before catching up to speed in the song's final moments. Closing the main set with full crowd participation, Albatross has the audience loudly singing along as Pepper and the boys leave their fans wanting more. Acquiescing to the ravenous chants of COC, the band soon returns to the stage for an encore. Announcing that the next song has not been played in a very long time, the assembled faithful are rewarded with an extra song on the night. Next, the roiling vortex of My Grain rails forcefully from the stage to open the encore. Latent melody and yet another ecstatic solo from the Weatherman spotlight this 1994 classic. Ending the concert with another sonic exemplar from Deliverance, Clean My Wounds caps a rousing encore with Brother Partridge's drums and Brother Dean's bass impelling the song forward. A mid-song jam session delays the inevitable, with Pepper's band introductions, some brilliant musical interplay, including a brief reggae diversion interjecting, before refocusing the band's energy to drive the song to a powerful conclusion. While tonight, the band's crossover greatness and hardcore roots cede the spotlight to their later era zest for rocking hooks and a southern swagger, the impact is no less impressive. A powerful performance from one of the most unique and invigorating bands in the heavy music world, Corrosion of Conformity are equally at home, pushing the boundaries where crossover and psychedelic Venn diagrams intersect, as well as reveling in full-throated hard rock songcraft. Pepper Keenan evinces a gravel-throated southern rock troubadour with his melody-infused gruffness, while one of the most underrated guitarists in the history of music, Woody Weatherman, deals out hefty riffs and mind-bending solos with ease. The bass monster Mike Dean holds down the low end in his own understated and also underestimated way, and Merritt Partridge fills the bombastic drum throne of Reed Mullen with grace and destructive power. Charging through a 15-song set, Corrosion of Conformity spearhead an outstanding night of crushing melody and reflective heaviness, beginning with the bottom-heavy swagger of Mothership and continuing through the veteran doom excellence of The Obsessed. The night's festivities kick off with a rousing 1-2 punch. Crowbar steps in next to overwhelm the crowd with a depressive, dirge-filled set before North Carolina's Pride and Joy, Corrosion of Conformity, roar through the venue with a determined southern rock swagger. Drawing an excellent turnout for an absolutely formidable lineup, the night moves from strength to strength with no room for weakness. Corrosion of Conformity perfectly headline an impressive lineup of bands that should stand as one of the most well-rounded and impactful tours of 2019.